Most people on the internet are creating their videos wrong, and that's damaging their business. That's an exciting thing for you because it means that you can easily get ahead of 99% of people who are creating videos online. I've spent the last 10 years building and growing agencies, working with some of the biggest brands in the world, just like these guys, and making them millions of pounds in the process. So in this video, I'm going to share everything that I know as fast as I can about creating videos for your business that actually get the results that you want. And the cool thing is that I'm going to teach you this in a way that is super easy to implement. So over the next 28 days, you can actually get set up and running to start seeing the results. So when you're ready, let's dive in. Most videos are created in a performance mindset. And by performance, I don't mean that they are there to get data and analytics and all these cool metrics. I mean attention, in the sense of that a lot of videos are now created to get more views and to keep people hooked to their screen, just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. What I see a lot of businesses doing now, and a lot of smaller creators, is they aren't creating videos that actually evoke an action from their viewers. An action towards downloading a lead magnet or joining a newsletter or giving the creators their data, their email addresses, so that it can be sold to in the future, or nurtured, as some people like to call it. It's just a fancy way of saying, I'm warming you up to get you to buy my stuff. In the simplest way of saying this, most videos lack systems, which sounds really boring. We're going to dive into this a little bit later on in the video, but you need to start building the systems and the processes that add method to the madness. Okay, again, we'll touch on that in a bit. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you want to get customers. Own it. If that's the case, own that decision. I create videos to get customers for my business. The reason I'm making this YouTube video is to help you solve a problem that you might go, actually, that's really helpful. I'm going to click some of the links in Jack's video description to go, oh, I'm going to get some of this free stuff, and maybe if I'm in a position to purchase, I might pay to join his video community. Links will be below. Video right now, especially throughout 2026 and probably the next couple of years after that, it's just going to be raved about, going to be raved about, going to be raved about. Everybody is creating videos. So you feel this pressure to, because everybody else is doing it, well, this must be the secret success blueprint to grow my business. If you're selling a B2B service or product, you're probably going to be charging thousands of pounds for it, at least the high hundreds. So you don't need as many people to build a thriving business. For example, 10 customers that pay you £1,000 a month, which really isn't that hard to achieve, will get you 120 grand a year. So what I want you to focus on before we even get into the intricate itty bitty shitty details of things is I want you to change your mindset. I want you to change your mindset from a vanity metrics focused mindset to a sanity metrics focused mindset. Not the views, the likes, the comments, the shares, the impressions, etc. I want you to start focusing on the conversations that you start, the quality of the DMs that you talk to people within. Now, I could sit here and say that you need to post on every platform multiple times a day, you need to create multiple videos a day to really push the boat out, but I don't think you do anymore. I would actually argue that you need to create less, if that content is simple and smart. For example, go all in on LinkedIn and go all in on posting a YouTube video once a week, if that's what you want to do. All you need to do is create videos that solve a problem for your ICP. And ICP stands for Ideal Customer Persona. So focus on 1 to 2 different platforms and keep the message maybe to like 2 or 3 different types of messages. You don't want to overcomplicate things. Again, you want to keep things smart and you want to keep things simple. What I will say is that there are 6 different, I would say, key elements of creating videos that you need to do to make sure that when you are creating content and you're spending time making these videos, that they actually work as they are intended to work. They get you the results that you want. And I'm gonna go through those now. First step is strategy. I want you to see strategy as your North Star in the dark, right? If you haven't got a North Star and you're flying blind, how do you know where you're going? What direction are you heading in? Probably the wrong one. So strategy in its simplest form is about making smart long-term decisions that you can kind of work backwards from. Best way to start building a strategy is just ask yourself one simple question: what's the goal? Just for shits and giggles sake, let's say it's like you want to hit 10 grand a month, right? What do you need to do to achieve 10 grand a month? Chances are you're going to need some customers. Okay, well, how do I get customers? Well, I need to create content to attract them. Okay, well, what type of content? What platforms are we focusing on? How regularly are we creating this content? What lead magnets do we need to include in the calls to action of that content to drive data acquisition? I want you to break down this main goal into little tangible, simple, smart baby steps that will essentially create this ladder of things that you need to do in chronological order. You need to do X to achieve Y, which gets you to Z. Right? It's just about breaking it down step by step. Second thing here is setting KPIs. Now, KPIs, basically a wanky word of saying key performance indicators, which again, breaking it down just means measuring the stats. Without the data, it's gonna be very difficult to own the decision to say, we need to create this video, this is how we're doing it, this is when we're posting it. Data in video marketing is absolutely everything. Setting KPIs essentially allows you to track quantifiable metrics that tell you whether or not your videos are performing well. you will be able to see, based on the views, the likes, the comments, even things like the retention rate, the click-through rate, whether you're starting conversations with the right people, whether or not the videos that you're spending a lot of time on, because they will take time, are actually getting the results that you need. So I want you to track things like sales generated or click-through rate, which is essentially the metric that you track if people are clicking your links in the description. For example, I can see who clicked the links below this video because I can go onto Google Analytics and see that, oh, a lot of the people, a lot of the acquisition of people who have come from YouTube have come to this page. I can go, cool, people are clicking these links. If I noticed that people weren't clicking these links, I probably wouldn't include them in the video. So I want you to think about, sales, conversations that you start, leads that come through, leads generated, and even tracking things like your views, your likes, your follower growth, your engagement rate. I think that's fine. It's more vanity-led, but it gives you an indication at least on whether or not it's working for you. If you're seeing your views go down, if you're seeing your engagement dropping, stop what you're doing and start doing something else because it's clearly not working. Number 3, or the third step, is building creative systems. Now, I love systems. I'm a systems guy. I like method to the madness. I like structure. I like repeatability. I like knowing exactly what I need to do. The worst situation for me would be going into a business and being like, right, what are we creating? They go, we have no idea. And I go, okay, right, here we go. Creating videos that really work for your business needs to become a form of formula that you can repeat time and time again. That way you're not relying on random bursts of inspiration, and instead you're building a repeatable system that consistently gets you the results that you want because you know it works. Now, there are a few different types of systems that you can build over time that will support your video marketing. I'm gonna go through those now. The first is a system for generating video ideas in the first place. This might be down to keeping track of the types of questions that your customers ask you. It might be keeping a running list of video ideas that have previously worked that maybe you could tweak a little bit for another piece of content. That way, when you go to sit down to start thinking of ideas, you're not just thinking, oh, I need something quickly. You're looking at this archive or this vault or this list of ideas that have already worked, that you've got the information from, that you know people are asking to be solved. It might even be things like a system for writing scripts. That might be that you keep a big running list of some of the best hooks that you found really grab people's attention. It might even be how you say certain calls to action and actually what's driving the most clicks in your links. That's ultimately what's going to get you more leads. It might even be something like this where you've got a system for production. Every time I come into the office, all I have to do is turn this light on, turn this light on, turn this mic on, and click go, and it's done. I don't have to move anything around. Yes, I'm fortunate to have a space in the studio where I can do this. I worked to get here, I'll tell you that. But even just dedicating an area that you don't touch the kits, that you can just come in and go bang, 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 sit down, record, stop, send it to your editor or sort it out yourself. It's gonna really make things so much more time efficient for you. And time efficiency is gonna be great because you can make more stuff. What this will do is remove the friction and it speeds up the process, allowing you to create smarter and not harder. Step number 4 then brings me on to creative techniques. There are 20 million YouTube videos uploaded every single day now. There's, I think, 34 million videos uploaded to TikTok every day. There's over 1 million hours of content uploaded to the internet every day. Luckily for you, if you're really serious about leaning into video and having it as one of your biggest lead generators within your small business, 99% of the content that is uploaded is bottom of the barrel shite, mate. All right, it's not going to move a needle, and it's not even going to get a nose sniff, you know. Be the 1% that focus on a few creative techniques early that give them the upper hand and give you the confidence that when you are creating your videos, they're actually going to work for you. Those creative techniques are things like, number 1, your hooks. Most videos fail not because the content or the messaging or the length or the time that it was posted is wrong. It's because of that initial impression. It's the click and it's the titling. It's called packaging. If you can nail your packaging, the way that your thumbnail looks, the title creates that sense of urgency and intrigue and curiosity, chances are people are going to click. And if your hook can match the packaging in the first couple of seconds in terms of that you are fulfilling the promise that you have delivered in your packaging, i.e. here's the 3 things you need to think about when you make videos, and your hook is, here's 3 things you need to be thinking about when you're making videos, that matches perfectly and people are going to stick around. One example is this video that just reached over 1 million views for a very curiosity-evoking title. I wouldn't even say it was the best produced piece of content. It's just a guy kind of sitting like this on his chair talking to his mic. Not the most engaging, doesn't really have any extra footage. It's pretty bare bones in terms of content, but because the packaging was strong, it worked really well.
When somebody publicly blames you, you may think that you need better comebacks, but what if the real win happens before the comeback even starts?
I also like this video, which is many people don't know the secret of the screws located here. Why the f am I watching that? I clicked on it, I watched the whole video because it was interesting. 700,000 views posted 3 weeks ago. All of these videos work because they make you want to click. And without people clicking in the first place, the rest of your hard work that you've just spent an hour filming and days editing and trying to write the copy to make sure that it ticks all the boxes for social is irrelevant. Number two is gonna be footage. You really wanna start focusing on increasing people's retention with video, right? So what we can start to do is add a variety of footage, which is also called B-roll. B-roll is content that you use as contextual explanational content. So for example, let's say I'm talking about swimming pools. I don't know why. As I'm talking about swimming pools, a bit of footage of a swimming pool pops up. Editors, add it in there, please. If you're doing that all the time and you're adding B-roll, it keeps people engaged. It breaks the pattern a little bit. Rather than just a long talking head, suddenly you've got a fast-paced section of B-roll, then it goes back to talking head, then it goes back to B-roll, then it goes back to talking head. It's a super basic technique and it has been done for many, many years, but it really works. And that's because platforms really focus on watch time. If you can really increase your watch time, which is the length of time that people on average watch your video for, chances are these platforms are gonna really push it to new people. The third creative technique is frameworks. I love a framework. A framework is essentially what adds structure to your videos. Okay, an example of a framework might be things like the PAS framework or the Problem, Agitate, Solution framework. This framework is a great framework because it allows you to focus on highlighting the problem in the hook of your content. Those first 10, 20 seconds, you can really home in on the problem that people have. Then you move to the agitation stage. You're kind of twisting that metaphorical knife. You're really reinforcing why that pain is a problem, why it needs fixing. That's going to get people to the point where they've watched your video, they've gone, right, he's highlighted the problem or she's highlighted the problem. They can agitate it. I really feel this pain now. Now I want the solution. And you go, right, here's the solution. Problem, agitate, solution. Having those frameworks, I feel, can sometimes remove the imposter syndrome a little bit when you feel like maybe you're not the go-to person or you're not the authority, you're not the expert to talk on this specific thing. If you can just framework that structure, I think it will make you more confident. And also it then helps people to not just watch your video, but actually take action after they've watched it. Now, these are very surface level techniques. And if you want to find out a bit more information around the PAS framework and how you can plan, film, and edit your videos within 35 minutes, you can literally watch this on your lunch break. Click the video starter pack link in the description, sign up to receive this in your email, and you'll get it sent straight away. The second to last step, the fifth step, is all about understanding data. This is the most important part if you are using video to market your business. Data doesn't care about how much effort you put into your video. It doesn't care if you've liked the video or if you feel emotionally that's the best thing on the planet. It will tell you the truth. You want to start asking really boring questions like, which video have I created in the last year that led to the most conversations? Which topics and video ideas are my audience responding to? Which video hooks get the highest click-through rate? Which videos have I posted in the last 12 months that have absolutely flopped on social media? What you're looking for here are patterns, okay? And the reason you're looking for patterns is because they give you that sense of clarity to create the right stuff in the future. So the trap that a lot of people get themselves into is that they kind of go, or they say things like, oh, this video's failed because it's only got 500 views. Or they say, oh, this video's only got 50 likes, it's absolutely died. The goal is not to increase your views, it's not to increase your likes, it's not to get more followers so that you can become the next viral sensation, it's to get revenue for your business. And you can do this with a smaller following. I did it. I built a £1 million business with 8,000 followers. I wasn't an influencer, I didn't have millions of followers. Mate, nobody knows me on YouTube. I'm tiny on YouTube at the moment, as of 2026. But YouTube is slowly becoming one of my biggest revenue generators. For example, let's say a video that you post gets 200 views, right? But those 200 views start 5 conversations, and from those 5 conversations, 2 people become customers. That video has worked. This leads me on to the 6th and the final step, which is discipline. You do not win with video because you made one video. You win at video because you stuck to it when so many other people decided to quit. Because they don't see an instant result, they divert their attention and they kind of lose track of progress. It might be that life just gets busy or business gets chaotic, which is inevitable. It's always going to happen. It might be that they just completely lost motivation and the drive to keep going when it got tough. Discipline, I see it as filming videos when you don't really feel like it. When you are posting content and you're creating a lot of content, but nobody's really watching it. If you continue to create videos and really refine the process and systemize stuff and understand the data and get excited about the process, you will build a thriving business. So don't treat every video like it's got to go viral, right? Just treat it as training. I'd argue that the first 50 videos, which maybe took me about a year to do, were crap. They were crap. They were bottom of the barrel shite, mate. But I would argue that those first 50 videos taught me the resilience, the discipline, the mental strength that you need to stick to this game, you know? So if you found this video useful, the goal with my YouTube channel is to help you essentially learn what you've just learned there for free without spending a decade figuring it out on your own, okay? And if you enjoyed this video, click this next one, okay? This is gonna really help you to create videos that get results for your business. So continue learning, stay in the ecosystem, keep watching some stuff. If you've got any questions at all, drop a comment below. I'd be happy to help. See you in the next video.